आज्ञा में
वो तक ହେଇଗଲା 58 ହେଇଗଲା।
आज्ञा आज्ञा
अच्छा ଆସିଗଲା ଲାଇଭ ହେଇଗଲା। अच्छा ଆସିଗଲା ଲାଇଭ ହେଇଗଲା। जय गुरु संक्षिप्त स्तोत्र वंदना। ओम ब्रह्मानंदम परम सुखदम केवलम ज्ञानमूर्तिम् अन्वतितम् गगन सदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं मामि। जय गुरु। Welcome to this NIGAM SWADHYAYA with the blessing Thakurjee. We have again joined together, though with a different channel, but yes, our aim is one, our objective is one, and our purpose is also one. So because of the blessing of Thakurjee, we are here together again. There was some technical issue with the other channel, that is why we have to change this channel. So my sincere apologies for the inconvenience to the entire mass, because since last 4 days we are doing through a different channel. But yes, I must say was very interesting, and very interesting questions came from all of you. But the reading was about after the demise of Yogendra Mohini Devi, mother of Thakurjee in his early days as Nalini Kanta. So Thakurjee could not find his mother as she gave a message कि I surrendered Nalini Kanta to the Mahashakti or the Jaganmaya or the mother of the universe. So he was frustrated. He was getting motherly affection from mother, but absence of that, he was not very clear what to do, how to proceed. He was feeling his life is not as good as it was. So looking at all these things, his father Bhuvan Mohan Bhattacharya ji decided to marry, arrange the marriage for Nalinikanta. But Nalinikanta was not agreed to any such kind of proposal because he was not in a very good mood because of the demise of his mother. So finally, in many ways, they could agree, Nalinikanta, to get married. This was the session, the reading yesterday. Now, I am requesting Primbadama and Devasis Bhai to declare the result of your. Declare the result means you have attended, just to pronounce who were on the top list. Over to Primbadama and Devasis Bhai. Jayaguru.
Jayaguru Bhai. Jayaguru all. So yesterday we had just 4 questions and we have received around 44 responses, and out of those the quickest one and the highest mark scoring was from Naresh Behera Bhai, quickest responses. So the responses are just, so all have scored well. So congratulations all, and hope you'll be excited to do another today's question answer sessions also with that spirit. Over to you.
Thank you. We pray Thakurjee to bless all of them, and especially who have scored well. And also, the reading of yesterday by Ridhi Mahapatra was also very good. So, clap for all of them and whoever have attended the session and whoever has appeared for the question and answer session. Now, I am requesting, we have got Diksha Aradhana today, Diksha Aradhana Ma with her, and she is from Pune Saraswata Sangha. Ramesh, would you like to tell anything?
No, maybe.
Okay. Okay. So I am requesting Diksha Aradhana Ma from Pune Saraswata Sangha to continue reading. Over to you, Diksha. Jai Guru.
Jayaguru Bhai and Maa. After the preliminaries were over, the marriage between 17-year-old Nalinikanta with 11-year-old Sudhanshu Bala was solemnized on an auspicious day in between February and March in the year 1897. The moment Sudhanshu Bala stepped into her husband's home, she started treating as her own. Bhattacharya's house was filled with joy as never before, and it seemed as if she has brought divine pleasure as the dowry. At such tender age, Sudhanshu Bala behaved as if she was mentally prepared for this role from ages. Father Bhuvan Mohan placed his youngest son Rampad on her side and asked her to take care of him like her own son. With tears brimming his eyes, he told her that if Manika, Jogendra Mohini, would have been living, she would have been overjoyed because it was her desire to bring in Sudhanshu Bala as their daughter-in-law. Bhuvan Mohan put the responsibility of the entire household on her young but dependable shoulders and sighed in relief. The house of Bhattacharya was filled to its capacity by the ladies of the village who came to see Sudhanshu Bala. They all praised Sudhanshu Bala's beauty and talked among themselves that never before in their village such a girl had ever been seen. Observing all these, Nalinikanta, though did not express anything before anybody, became proud of his young wife. He admired her quality to make others relaxed and comfortable in her presence. But he was yet to discover the place she has reserved for him in her heart and in her life. Sudhanshu Bala was totally dedicated to him. For her, Nalinikanta was no less than God. In spite of the responsibilities entrusted to her, she would be waiting for his arrival at home. The moment Nalinikanta arrives at home, she will forget all other work and engage herself in his service. She was so attentive towards him that rarely he could ask for anything he requires. Within a couple of days of her arrival, she assessed what he loves to eat, his requirements at different times of the day, even about what type of behavior he likes. Sudhansubala proved herself that she, as a person, is not to be told, but to be watched and admired. She will not accept any food until he finishes taking his food. Then she will feed other members of the family. Then only she will take her food and would never complain if it is less than her requirement. At night, she will massage and press her husband's feet till she is told to stop. She will fan him for hours and would never say that she is tired. She will only fall asleep when her husband would sleep. With slight moaning from her husband, she will wake up and start fanning. Waking from sleep at midnight, Nalnikanta on several occasions found her sitting and fanning him. He became astonished and taking the fan away from her hand would ask her to lay down and go to sleep. Nalnikanta, being overpowered by love and dedication of Sudhansubala, started calling her by her nickname as Rani, Queen. The children of their joint family and of neighbors loved her as if she was born among them. Young girls of the village come to her for her hairdressing, as it seemed she was an expert in the trade. Housewives flocked to Bhattacharya's house to needle work. In spite of the rush, she never neglected her own household works, such as cooking, keeping the house in order. Among all, Bhuvan Mohan became the happiest man. It seemed God has given back the bounty of joy to the family, which was lost after Jogendra Mohini's death. As Nalnikanta lived at his maternal aunt's house most of the time, after marriage, the couple stayed at Radhakantapur. But after a few months, Nalnikanta decided to leave his aunt's house, as his father Bhuvan Mohan had to cook food by himself. He let his aunts know his decision. They have spent a good amount on Nalinikanta's education with the hope that they will adopt him. Nalinikanta, knowing their mind, told them that it is true they have met the expenditure of his schooling, but he had to go back to Kutapur as his father had to cook and take care of children at an advanced age. The aunts knew that once a decision is taken by him, there would be no turning back. They became very angry for the failure of their plan and openly announced that henceforth they will no more bear any expenditure for his education. Nothing could stop Nalinikanta, and next morning the newly married couple left for Kutapur. Knowing that Nalini is going to stay at Kutapur, his friends became very happy. Nalinikanta knew that further higher study is impossible due to lack of financial support from his aunts. So he decided to become a school teacher to support his family. Simultaneously, he started applying for better jobs elsewhere.
Jayaguru, just little bit pause, Ma. So coming back to our discussion, so Kamal Sahu Bhai is requesting not audible properly, Bhai. So I am requesting the Bhai and Ma who are in the streaming seva, kindly check in YouTube if there is any problem in audio. Kamal Sahu Bhai, you can also check your all other Bhai and Ma who are watching the live streaming. They can also put their opinion whether it's audible or it's only problem with Kamal Sahu Bhai. Meanwhile, we have got Sanjeev Mahapatra Bhai, though he is joining from the day one with us. He is in the seva of Karnataka Saraswata Sangha, and again also we have got Gyana Dwivedi Bhai from America Saraswata Sangha today. So meanwhile, I am requesting Gyana Dwivedi Bhai to explain in short whatever has been read so far during the time our Sevaka and Sevika are checking the streaming audio. Over to you, Gyana Bhai.
Jayaguru Kunabe. We started reading about Thakur getting married and Ma Sudhansubala coming to Kutapur, and there is a little bit of a description of how good Ma Sudhansubala was. As a very young lady at that age, she had a sense of her duties, and she got to work immediately as soon as she got there, to a point that when Thakur's mother, Jogendra Devi, passed away, she had a young son, Ramapada. So Thakur's father, Bhuvan handed off Ramapada to Ma Sudhansubala, saying, "Hey, you have to take care of him," and she did. There are at least 1 or 2 articles that Thakur's youngest brother Ramapada has written, praising Ma Sudhansubala, how good she was, and how well she carried her duties, and there are some other things I'm sure maybe later on you'll read. So with that, you guys probably read Thakur's mother, Jogendra Devi, was the second daughter of her parents, and they had 2 other daughters. They didn't have any son. So they wanted Nalinikanto to spend, basically not spend time, live in Radhakantapur, where his maternal place is. And they basically wanted him to stay there with his wife, while his father, Bhuvan stays back in Kutapur. Thakur did not like that. One thing you will observe about Thakur's character, even though he was not very spiritual at this time, he always knew what is right and what is wrong, and always followed what is right. So in this case, the right thing was having his wife come back to Kutapur and take care of his father also. So he did that, and what that did to his 2 aunts, they basically got mad, and they stopped paying his educational expenses. And his dad wasn't a very rich person. He was well-to-do, but not to a rich person that he can send Nalinikanto for schools. And then, so he started looking for jobs, and there are other things happened around that time. Is it okay to stop here or keep going? I don't know if your problem is solved yet.
Yeah. So whenever you are through, you can stop. Yeah, Devashish bhai.
On the YouTube, we are not able to listen a single word from Gyani bhai.
Because of what?
I think the streaming network perhaps. I don't know. Video is coming good, but audio is somehow very less.
But everybody started telling it's audible for me in the YouTube. When you check again, Gyani bhai, there is a question. By the time you answer this question, maybe Lipun bhai will check again. So the question is from Riddhi Mahapatra from Karnataka Sakha. Why was Nalinikanto stubborn with his decision?
Good question, Riddhi Ma. I won't say he was stubborn. As I was explaining earlier, he had a very good sense of what is right and what is wrong. So he will always stick to what is right. And that's kind of if you analyze Thakur's life, you'll know from his normal Nalinikanto life to life of a realized master or saint that Nigamananda Saraswati was, he always followed what is right, and he always would stick to what is right. So that's his nature, and there's something that's a lot to learn from that nature that he had. So in this case, saying, can he not compromise would be the other part of it. Can he not compromise and say, maybe Sudhansubala could live with his aunts in Radhakantapur. If she did that, his dad will be cooking by himself and taking care of the kids by himself. These other things come where his duty and Sudhanshu Balama's duty is to really serve his parents or his dad, who was only living at that time. So that sense of what is right, what is wrong, drove Thakura, or in this case, his prior life for Nalnikanta, to really be, in a way, stubborn that, hey, this is what I need to do.
Thank you, Bhai. I think everybody understood your explanation also, and now everybody has started writing clearly audible. So I am again requesting Diksha Aradhana Ma to start reading. Lipun Bhai, please support. Yes, please.
Bhuvan Mohan did not object to his decision and was very happy having Sudhanshu Bala at home. Nalinikanta, though reciprocated her love, but was astonished at the quantum of love she had reserved for him. Sometimes, Nalinikanta was not able to understand her love, as he has never heard of such love in human society. It was impossible for any human being to return that type of love on an equal basis. An idea can be obtained about her selfless love from the fact of how she lived her life being separated from him. In Vaishnav holy books, there is a term, Prosita Bhartruka. It describes how a love-lore female devotee lives her life being separated from God. Sudhanshu Bala had no scope to read such high-profile books in her life, but her own nature, her unconditional love for her husband, had made her Prosita Bhartruka. When Nalini had to leave his home and stay away on some work, Sudhanshu Bala's condition, her way of living, is worth mentioning. She never combs her hair, even does not apply oil to her hair. She does not wear any ornament, never wears good saris. She becomes very grave, and the ever ready smile vanishes from her face. She never goes out of her house, never spends time in talking with other women. If someone will observe her at that time, one is bound to think that perhaps she is severely ill. Looking at her, if some elderly woman asks her if she simply replies, "No, I am not ill." On inquiry from others, she says, "For whom should I dress?" Once jokingly, Sudhanshu Bala asked Nalinikanta, "If I will die, then what would you do?" Nalinikanta asked in return what she would do if the same thing happens to him. Sudhanshu Bala became very grave instantly, and with tears flowing down her cheek, she said, "That can never happen. I must die before you. But even as a joke, do not speak like that. It hurts me like anything." Nalinikanta never talked like that. But who knew she was foretelling the truth about future course of their lives? We would like to present three incidences through which one can assess who Sudhanshu Bala was and what type of personality she had as a human being. While Nalinikanta was a small boy, Bhattacharya casually had proposed marriage with a girl of that village. But the proposal did not materialize, and the girl was married off to someone before Nalinikanta attained the marriageable age. Unfortunately, she became a widow and was living in her parents' house. After some time, Nalinikanta married Sudhanshu Bala. Though Nalinikanta had no relation with her, she went on loving him as before, but without expressing it before him. One day, Sudhanshu Bala urgently asked Nalinikanta to visit the woman's house. He did not agree as he was not aware of the situation. Sudhanshu Bala told him that the matter is very urgent and he must visit her. Even then, he did not agree to visit her. Then she told him that it is urgent because she is very ill, and though Nalinikanta is not a doctor, he should go as she still loves him. Nalinikanta was astonished and asked her that as a wife, is she not jealous of her? She replied, "You are my God. Is it a sin for others to love God? Rather, I am proud of her as she endured the pain of separation and has never expressed it." She got hold of his hand, forced him to go to her house. The widowed woman was lying on a bed and was fighting for her life. She looked at Nalnikanta, smiled with an effort, and died in his presence with peace largely written on her pale face. What a woman Sudhansubala was! Or was she a goddess devoid of human ego? Answer to this question with clarification and confirmation came from another incident. One day, Rampada fell ill. His condition deteriorated and Bhuvan Mohan became very worried. As there was no doctor available at Kuttapur, he decided to go to Radhakantapur. It was a hot day of summer season. Bhuvan Mohan asked Sudhansubala to take care of Rampada and telling her he, he would return as soon as possible, started towards Radhakantapur. Sudhansubala was sitting by Rampada's side when she heard a commotion. Rampada was a small boy who at first could not understand the reason of such shouting. Sudhansubala rose and looked through the window to know what was happening. She saw that the entire village was burning and it will be a minute before their house would be on fire. The hot wind fanning the fire is spreading it with tremendous speed. She got hold of Rampada and rushed toward an open field. Placing Rampada under a tree, she started running towards their house to retrieve some essential materials. Rampada saw that their own house has caught fire and flames leaped high. He became terrified and extremely worried for Sudhansubala. Before his eyes, Sudhansubala entered the burning house and within minutes returned to Rampad holding some necessary articles. What a sight! Rampad saw four-handed Sudhansubala coming towards him, clutching items belonging to Nalinikanta and Bhuvan Mohan. The small boy had never heard of a woman with four hands. He became terrified, but could not close his eyes. His mouth felt dry, and as he asked for water, Sudhansubala put down the materials, took him into her lap, and raised a glass of water to his lips. Rampada for many years did not disclose it to anyone, but he never forgot it till he died at an advanced age. Bhuvan Mohan, knowing that Nalini is not going to oblige his maternal aunts because of him, wanted his second son Tarapada to get married so that the aunts will be satisfied. As Tarapada would stay at Radhakantapur with his wife, it was decided that the marriage will be solemnized at Radhakantapur. He waited till Nalinikanta returned home and disclosed the plan for him. When he accorded his approval, Bhuvan Mohan went ahead with arrangement for the marriage. Both father and son left for Radhakantapur ahead of Sudhansubala. Arrangement was done for her travel and of Rampad few days after. Accordingly, on the particular day, they started their journey in a bullock cart. The driver of the bullock cart was Michumia, a Muslim. After a while, Sudhansubala became restless and asked Michumia to stop the cart and put some oil on axles as the bullocks were finding it difficult to move the cart. Michumia did not listen and continued taking the cart as usual. Then Sudhansubala started shedding tears. Finally, the cart was stopped and axles oiled. They resumed their journey. While they were passing through a forest, Michumia boasted of his courage and told them that if a tiger will come, he will beat the tiger with his stick and make him run for life. It had become little dark and suddenly the bullock stopped and did not move in spite of Michumia's coaxing and beating. They saw a tiger sitting majestically, blocking the road. Michumia panicked and crawled into the rear of the bullock cart. Rampad clutched Sudhansubala for protection. Sudhansubala pushed him into back of the cart. Then she rose, went to the front of the cart and calmly stood there like a stone figure. She looked straight into the eyes of the tiger, which was only few meters away. After some seconds, the tiger roared and ran into the forest, as if terrified. Sudhansubala returned to her seat as calmly as she had left it. Michumia returned to his place at front of the cart and the bullocks started moving again. But Michumia's talking stopped altogether throughout the journey. When Rampada became normal, he asked her what she did to the tiger. She said that she did nothing and only looked into its eyes. On consistent inquiry from Rampada, she told him that it is Trataka Yoga, which she had learned from a yogi while still a child. It is unimaginable that a child could become successful in Trataka Yoga while adults take years to accomplish it. Even many do not achieve it during their lifetime. Sudhansubala was true reflection of the Mother of Universe. She was the manifestation of divinity in blood and flesh. The Arupa, formless, did become Aparupa, wonderful form, and performed the divine act on earth which has no parallel to it. At Radhakantapur, Bhuvan and other family members came to know about their ordeal from Rampada after they arrived. They anxiously asked Sudhansubala about what has happened, to which she only smiled but said nothing. It was Rampada who went on narrating it again and again without waiting for breath. The marriage of Tarapada went off well. Everyone praised Sudhansubala for her hard work. Nalinikanta returned early to join the service at Dinajpur District Board as junior engineer. After few months, a rift started between him and Atul Krishna, his superior. Nalinikanta left the service without a second thought. After few days, he joined as an inspector of settlement work at Jan Bazar of Dinapur estate. But after the settlement was over, his service got terminated. He waited for a chance to join a good service. The chance came and he joined as the estate manager, supervisor of Dantya Pragana. His office at Narayanapur was located near Parvatipur railway